there was a time in my career where I felt quite stagnant. Like I wasn't really moving up or doing anything new. And I really enjoyed it, actually. It was nice to not constantly be chasing something new and like trying to get to the next level. It was nice to just kind of sit and relax and sit in a role. And it's predictable and there wasn't much. It was kind of nice for a bit. I mean, you get bored eventually, but I think pay attention, like just be aware of how you're feeling on that Sunday night. Like we all talk about Sunday scaries as something that we all experience. But if it's like, you know, really bad, like it might be a sign that things are not working and you're not really aligned with what you're doing. So
You've clocked into office hours with work besties Sohan and Hameda, helping you survive and thrive between 9 and 5.
We believe in work and play, so get ready to crush your career and live your best life. First of all, I would just like to say we're in a new space.
I didn't think we were going to talk about it. I thought we were just going to just kick off.
I think we have to talk about it.
It's a bit different.
It's just a little bit different, and it's not the final set, so stay tuned.
Yeah, but
if you're wondering, wow, everything looks amazing, you would be correct.
Yeah, you can go back and see all the differences that have happened since the beginning to now, which hasn't been a long time.
Yes.
So there really shouldn't have been this many changes.
No, but we're very happy to be in this new space.
You know, since we're such experts at change.
Yes.
We're discussing tips for dealing with personal career change today.
Yes.
Which is much scarier to me than external business change.
Because that's out of your control. But personal career change is within your control.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. I don't know if I've really ever done a personal career change.
Oh.
Or maybe I have. Not that much.
You probably radio into social and data. That's completely different.
Oh, yeah.
You have made a decision to change your career destination.
I guess, but it was very gradual and it was very much, and I think we'll talk about this in the episode more, but it was very much like just me following what I was enjoying at the time. And, you know.
Which is, I guess, is so important, but you don't know that while you're doing it.
No, it's a little bit scary. But also, like, we're not just talking about minor pivots today. We're going to be talking about big shifts. Like if you want to like change industries. Like we've had ex-colleagues that worked with us at BuzzFeed that one of them is a teacher now.
And we've had teachers who now work in content. So it's all changing all the time.
So true.
I also believe that like big career change is scarier and has more stakes when you're deeper into your career development, when you're more senior, when you've got more skills developed, because there are more stakes.
So true.
You're relearning everything. You're starting from like box zero. Even if it's within the field that you're in, you're starting from the beginning. And that's why whenever I think about this, it makes me want to throw up.
Yeah, it's very scary. I always think about like, am I going to make as much money as I've been making?
The thing is, a lot of the options available to me, I'd be making more.
Oh, yeah.
Which we can also touch on and go into. But it's like sometimes it's like, is the money worth the discomfort if you're comfortable? Is the comfort worth the discomfort of not getting enough money?
Yeah.
There's a lot to discuss, and that's why we're here.
Totally. So I have a question for you.
Yes.
Looking back on your journey so far, when did fear hold you back and where did it protect you?
Sorry, the chair, every time I move, I need to get over it and stop. I'll probably get used to it by like the second recording for this. Fear is an interesting concept to me because sometimes fear is like the trigger that makes me do something. Like if I'm scared of something, it means I should probably do it because there's a reason that I'm scared of it. But that's very different from like an intuition, a gut feeling of like, no, actually this is bad news or maybe I shouldn't go there.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's ever held me back in my career because I kind of just do things and see what happens.
Well, yeah, I feel like fear for me has like protected me in a way. Because when I first started out, I was terrified that I wasn't going to make it, that I wasn't going to get a job, especially in media and creative industries. I feel like there wasn't really anyone in my family or anyone I knew that had done that before, so they had no idea how to help me. And I was like, this is such a highly competitive industry. Like, how am I going to do this? But what that fear did was it just forced me to like put everything into it. Like my parents were like, oh, do you want to like be a lawyer or like a doctor or anything? But I was like, you know what? No, I'm just going to go full speed ahead and see where I get. Because if you don't give it your full effort, you're never going to know.
100%. So true. But I think that's also somewhere where our backgrounds have an impact on the way that we think about it. Because I flopped out of high school. You know what I mean? Like, I got a really bad ATAR. I went to like a college before I went to a uni, et cetera, et cetera. And so when I was starting out in my actual career in media and like, because I knew what I wanted to do since I was in year 2, I knew that I wanted to do this. I just had undiagnosed ADHD. So I didn't do the things that people would normally do to get to where they needed to be in order to achieve those goals. So when I started, there was nothing for me to, I was starting from
zero,
the trenches. I was office admin. Like, it was like almost like there's no fear because there's nothing to fear losing. It's not like I've built this career up. Whereas now I've built the career up, so I'm scared.
So it's like pivoting.
Early career?
Yeah.
No fear.
That's the thing. And that's where, like, if you are in your early career, like, you're at a great point to pivot. So, like, and we'll talk about this in tips, but keep, like, paying attention to how you're feeling about where you're at, because the earlier, I mean, you can pivot whenever, but, like, it's much easier when you're in your early career. I will say also, like, currently, I reckon that the fear of being, like, unemployed or like not, because I'm a Capricorn, so I need stability, regular paychecks. Like, I don't think I would ever be able to do freelance. Like, I just don't know how to even go about that.
Yeah.
I'm sure I could learn, but like, scary.
Yes.
But I think the fear of not being employed has held me back from wanting to pivot.
That's okay. I hadn't thought of it that way.
Yeah.
Like the actual worst case scenario, which is that suddenly you just can't get a job anywhere. I would never leave a job without having something to go to.
Yes.
Although I've seen a lot of sentiment on Twitter at the moment. I think a lot of people are leaving jobs without
something else
because it's just so toxic.
I just like valid, not invalidating anyone's decision personally. And we'll talk about this.
Yes, we've got tips relating.
Yeah,
to
we've
this
got tips
stuff.
related to this. But I think like I need to have something lined up. Like, I can't just be like, oh well, we'll see. I mean, I would just I don't know if I would want to. I just can't. I'm just scared. A fear is holding me back.
Well, did you ever worry that pivoting would make you look unreliable or behind? Is that why? It's like, just stick to the one thing that you're doing and learning and are good at.
I mean, yes. I think sidestepping or pivoting to something new, you do have, I mean, I've had this feeling where it's like, oh, I've worked so hard to get to this point or get to this like level. Like, do I want to go a step down or sidestep when like I could go a step higher if I kept at it?
Yeah.
But I think for me, like, it's not just about the job or the industry or the role itself. It could also be about the company you work at. Like, I was very happy to sidestep into a place like BuzzFeed because I love the brand.
Yeah.
And I think that's something to keep in mind is like, if you want to sidestep into something new, like, think about the company that you want to work at. And that, you know, even though you might not be going up a step, you are in other ways.
Your quality of life is improving.
Through these chats, we're already getting into the tips. So I think let's just get into the tips.
We got to get into it.
Let's get into the tips.
Because as we were talking about early careers, that's literally my first tip is around that's the time for experimentation. That is the time to just take jobs, see what you like. And I think we've said this on the pod before when we're like, well, you don't know what to do. Go out and see what you like. Play in the field a little bit. Literally something from like retail to an office situation. Just getting that experience, getting out there, not being afraid to move around because you're so early in your career that you can.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know if I would consider this early career at this point because now I am old. But back before BuzzFeed, when I was at Flight Centre, because I was a travel agent. Honestly, Universe really had my back with that one because it was right before COVID. But I had like a month of training. Yeah. And then I got my offer to come in for my interview at BuzzFeed.
Yes.
So during that time, I was a little bit like, they've just put me through a month of training. I've learned all these systems. I've like built rapport with these people in this like storefront or whatever, where the travel agent was. And now I'm going and like starting this whole new journey from scratch somewhere completely different. However, it's BuzzFeed. So like it's my dream. So even though I was like a little bit afraid and also really guilty, like I felt so bad telling like them like, oh, I actually have this other job offer. Like, sorry guys. Yeah. Thank you for investing in me for a whole month, but like peace.
See ya.
But you've got to do that.
You have to.
When an opportunity lands in your lap, that you're like, this is actually better suited. Even though, again, it wasn't the job that I wanted. It was an office admin job. It wasn't like, you get to be a writer.
Yeah.
I was still like, this is necessary.
And also, like you said, you need to try it out. And I feel like there's so much pressure when you're in year 11 and 12 or like in uni to be like, so what are you going to study and what are you going to do? And that is your life forever.
Yeah.
But like, you actually don't know until you're there.
Yeah.
Like I thought I wanted to be a radio presenter until I realized that you don't get to choose the music.
Which is valid.
Yeah, there's someone whose job that is.
Yeah, I didn't know that when I was younger and pretending to be, even though you were on actual community radio, I was pretending to be, but I was the pretend person playing the music and talking.
Well, yeah, on community radio, you can play the music that you choose and say what you want to say and choose the topics. But then, you know, actually doing it for real in the industry, I was like, oh, I actually don't think this is for me. So it's okay to try and pivot, you know, because you got to know what you like. You might not like it. You might hate it.
Yeah. It might involve a lot more math than you first thought.
Which there is a lot of math in media as well with data and stuff. Like not me like calculating an average.
Which is, yeah. I love leaving the numbers to Sohan because it's just not for me.
Oh dear. Thank God we have calculators, guys. Okay, my first tip is before deciding your next move, pay attention to how you feel on a Sunday night. We all know about Sunday scaries and whatnot, but if you feel like quiet dread or anxiety or, on the other hand, excitement, like appreciation, like usually that tells the truth about where you're at. I also think that like if you're feeling nothing on a Sunday night, like peace, maybe like you're a little bit stagnant.
Yeah.
That's also valid.
Yes.
There was a time in my career where I felt quite stagnant. Like I wasn't really moving up or doing anything new. And I really enjoyed it, actually. It was nice to not constantly be chasing something new and like trying to get to the next level. It was nice to just kind of sit and relax and sit in a role. And it's predictable and there wasn't much. It was kind of nice for a bit. I mean, you get bored eventually, but I think pay attention, like just be aware of how you're feeling on that Sunday night. Like we all talk about Sunday scaries as something that we all experience. But if it's like, you know, really bad, like it might be a sign that things are not working and you're not really aligned with what you're doing. So pay attention to those emotions.
100%. Do you know that I didn't actually understand Sunday scaries until like 2 years ago?
Oh my God. Oh, interesting.
Maybe
not the timeline. Not the actual looking at what happened 2 years ago.
Don't look at my LinkedIn. No, I'm kidding. But I think for like when I was just like a content producer, like, and just being able to do literally whatever I wanted, it was so fun that I felt nothing about going to it. Even when I was the office coordinator, because I feel like there was no actual, I mean, obviously there was responsibility. We still had to do things and like hit goals, but it was much more flexible. And because I was so good at it, I really didn't have to worry. When I became more senior and started actually having more responsibilities and like, oh my God, people actually come to me for questions.
Yeah.
When I'm usually the one who's like, don't ask me, I don't know anything. Now suddenly I know everything and I don't like it. I don't want people to come to me with questions, but I don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Now it's almost like what's on this? Like I have to actually be across, what are we doing this week? Like what's the team doing? Where are things at? Like has everything been updated? All of those thoughts never existed in my brain.
So does that make you feel Sunday scaries?
Well, I wouldn't call them scary, but I'm like anxious and like, I gotta like be on tomorrow. This week is gonna. I used to not think about that at all. Like my worst Sunday thought would be, what am I gonna wear tomorrow?
That gives me Sunday scaries sometimes. What am I gonna wear? I think if that's your biggest problem, you know, you're doing all right.
Exactly, and that was like the prime time of my career. Now it's like everything actually matters, and soft life. Again. Not scary in a way that's like, oh my God, why am I here? What am I doing? It's more so just that, I have things to do that I care about.
And it's good to like distinguish that as well. Like, you know, a little bit of anticipation, like, I've got to like think about work tomorrow is okay. But that dread, like, even if you just like write it down or just think it through in your head, like figure out why that's actually saying.
Yeah, like why do I feel dread? Yeah. Why am I scared?
Yeah.
Do I not get along with my manager?
Yeah.
Is my team being weird and toxic? Like you get to the bottom of it and then figure out your next step. That's a great tip. And that kind of brings me into my next tip, which is emotional burnout counts even if your workload feels fine. So coming off of like Sunday scaries, sometimes the cause of Sunday scaries can be burnout because obviously you're like, wait, that was my recovery period. I'm not ready yet to go back into it. But you're not registering that that's a reason why that you're feeling the way that you're feeling. And then you might be sitting there when I say this and say, well, no, I'm not burnt out because I don't have a lot of work. However, you can feel burnt out emotionally from a job. It's such a big part of your life that if you're not feeling appreciated, if you're being invalidated at every turn, people are like not really listening to your ideas, or like you don't have a great manager.
Yeah.
And you're just constantly overcompensating for that. That is work.
Yeah.
That's adding to your workload.
Yeah.
So if you're feeling that, you need to reassess probably the situation and either go to HR and be like, I don't feel good here. Like my, emotional health is at a risk, or look into other jobs.
Because I feel like emotional burnout, I feel like it's either from like the people you're working with impacting how you're feeling, or it could also be a sign of like misaligned strategy or like unclear strategy where you don't really know what your purpose is. So you're being pulled in a million directions.
Yes.
So
massively.
Yeah, definitely raise that because
it's not good.
Yeah, it's not good.
It should be feeding you.
Yeah. And I mean, in an ideal world. Okay, my next tip is that if you're feeling like that restlessness feeling or the I'm behind feeling, that's usually a sign that you're about to enter a growth phase. I feel like that emotion comes in when you're about to start something new, and it's honestly a trigger for you to be like, okay, I need to change something. So if you're like comparing yourself to other people, whether it's friends, coworkers, or just people around you, that happens when you're in a transition stage. So you might be pivoting, you might be comparing yourself, it might be feeling like really not nice inside, but just be patient with yourself, be kind with yourself, and tell yourself you're in a transition phase, and that's normal. It's okay to feel the way that you do. Just turn those feelings into like actionable strategy. Don't just sit in it and wallow in it. But like, okay, how do I get out of this? What's going to make me feel accomplished?
So real.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't. I just sit in it.
Yeah.
Why do I feel like this?
I mean, sometimes you have to for a bit.
Yes. No, that's true.
Because we're feeling your emotions is good.
Because for a minute it does feel like suddenly you're bad at your job.
Yeah. Suddenly you're useless. Like what are you even doing with your life?
Yep.
But those are the questions that come up when you're about to like change something.
Yes.
So it's a sign.
Yep. Look into it.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're allowed to redefine success as often as you evolve, speaking of evolving and growing, because obviously, especially if you're reaching goals or if you're in an industry like media where literally everything is changing nonstop.
Yeah.
So to set a goal is actually a bit of like self-sabotage because the goal probably will either not be as valuable, maybe not even exist.
Oh my God, so real.
So being able to assess things from a bigger picture, step back, bird's eye view, and kind of see the new path or just because for me, that's changed so many times, nonstop, especially because we grew up in the age of the internet, right? So when I first, and this is not a lot of people will relate, but like, how old are you in year 2? Like 6? I don't know how old children are.
Yes, turning 7.
Well, I submitted a book report on the rainbow fish and got really, right? People like cancelled it recently. Apparently it's toxic. Either way, I don't care. I love it.
Yeah.
I submitted a book report and got really I got validation.
Yeah.
I love validation. So I was instantly like, obviously I'm a writer. Like,
obviously.
The first time someone's shown me attention.
And here you are, a writer.
Well, yeah, but back then, the kind of writing I do didn't exist. There was no internet.
Yes,
it was
so
like
true.
you were an author, you were a hard news journalist, you were like a magazine writer, which could go in any direction really. There wasn't anything. I'm not writing social captions.
Yes.
At that time, however long ago that was.
Yeah, I this is so true because I studied journalism because I was like, what else do I study if I want to
because nothing existed.
hang around on the internet and get paid for it?
And by the time the education system caught up, it was right after.
They literally launched a digital and social media degree the year after I graduated, guys. I was fuming.
Millennials will have a lot of experiences like that, I think, right after. I remember when the kids got the school laptops. It was like the year below us.
They built a senior school for year 11 and 12 the year after I graduated high school. I feel like our generation, that was just happening constantly.
It was.
But I also feel like that happens to everyone all the time?
I don't think so.
Really?
No, I think it was because we were in that like mad rush. What did they call it? I don't know.
The age of the internet.
Because they call things, right? Like the Stone Age and the Dark Age.
The Change Age. We're in the Change Age.
The Change Age. Wow. Completely.
Tangent.
Like, what are we even talking about?
No.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Redefining success. So as you evolve, see what actually makes you happy about where you are now, what that looks like in the next step. And just don't be afraid. Even if you haven't reached that goal, it doesn't matter. You can still change the goalposts.
And something that I think we learned from Jodie in our episode with HR was that figuring out what your values are, because even though your goals might change, as long as your values are still aligned with what you're doing, that's a great way to make sure you're staying grounded and like you're going to be happy in whatever you're doing as well.
Yeah, no, that's so smart.
I still don't even know if I know what my values are, but
I think you know them, you just don't know how to like say it.
Yeah. I just want to
We did
fun.
a whole course where we had to figure this out, so.
Oh yeah, we did. Never mind. Okay, my next tip is you don't have to prove loyalty by staying unhappy. And this is a big one for me, and I feel like I'm the kind of person where I don't like to leave a job. Like I kind of stay there for a long time. And this is the thing, like when I was coming up in my career, everyone was job hopping. I remember I had a manager who was like a year older than me, but she presented so much older than me. And she had like 8 jobs. And I was so enamored by her. But then I kind of realized like, wait, like why are you doing a job for 8 months and then moving? Because that was a trend, right?
I remember when we were at uni, they were like drilling into our brains that like people your age don't spend longer than 4 years in any job, let alone career. Like you can, people are constantly changing.
Job hopping, but now the trend, have you heard of job hugging?
Well, is it because of the economy?
Yes.
That makes sense.
It is. So people are job hugging now where they just like, they want to stay secure with employment. So they show loyalty and will just stay for a job. But I think don't stay loyal if you're unhappy.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to do anything. Like I feel like no matter how loyal you are, like things could still happen, business things change and you could still get made redundant. Like I've known people who have worked for certain businesses for like 10 plus years and they still get cut in a brutal way. The payout's pretty good, but don't like force yourself and torture yourself just because you're like, oh, I've been here for so long, like I should stay.
Don't base it on like rapport. Because at the bottom line is that when the business decides that you're not serving the business, they don't care how often, like how long you stay, how great you are for the cult. They don't care.
They don't, and also like when businesses go through big changes, it can feel like a brand new job. Yes. So like that loyalty it's not really serving any value in any way for anyone. No. So don't stay unhappy just to stay loyal.
Oh, yes. I wish I could say that I'm the kind of person who doesn't do that, but what am I coming on, my 8th year at BuzzFeed?
Yeah. Does that mean it's my 9th?
Yeah.
Guys, well, our tenure got cut in half, so.
We don't get that, but at least we know.
Yeah, we know.
This is what we're saying, right?
Don't do what we do.
Because we were it would have been like 6 years, so that's a long time.
Well, to be fair, like I always consider the acquisition as like a new job because it was.
Yes.
It pretty much was, even though we just it was new employment, new jobs, new business, new office, new team. So.
But beforehand.
Yeah.
If anyone asked me if I would ever work anywhere else.
Nope.
Like that fast.
Not leaving. I'm staying right here.
Fully that. All right. So earlier in the intro, we were talking about how fear works in regards to us and our careers. For me, it's confidence follows action, not the other way around. Like you're never going to feel confident about making a change before you make the actual change. You have to do, what's our motto? Fake it.
Fake it till you make it.
Fake it. You will be terrified. You'll be so scared. You'll be like, I don't know what I'm doing or who these people are or what the system is. What do you mean, Microsoft? But you have to pretend.
Yeah.
Keep pretending. And then it'll be like, oh,
yes,
this is great. Now I'm confident and I know what I'm doing.
This is literally rooted in science because your brain does not know the difference between like a joke or a lie and real words.
Oh.
So if you're sitting there, like this is something that like if I would ever say anything negative, like, because you know in lingo we're like, oh my God, I'm dead. Like, oh my God, I'm so dead.
Yes.
My grandma would be like, don't say that because your brain doesn't know the difference.
And it will think that you're dead.
And it will think, I mean, maybe you're saying something else like, oh my God, I'm so depressed, but you're not. Like exaggerating like things like that, right?
Well, it's like the what is it? It's not manifestation, but like that kind of energy where it's like if you keep repeating something, it becomes true.
Because it works the other way around. Like if you're like, I am the best person in the world. I am, to quote Kanye West, I am a god. You will start to believe it because your brain doesn't know the difference. So faking it till you make it is not just a myth. Like you keep doing it, it will happen and the confidence will come.
And that's what sells it.
Yeah.
So, and everyone starting a new job, a new role, making some kind of change will have a little bit of uncertainty, but you can still have confidence in uncertainty. You just have to like acknowledge the fact that, everyone starting out is a little bit like learning things and asking questions. Therefore, it's not weird that I'm doing that.
Yeah.
So that's not going to blow my cover of being really cool and confident.
Totally. Okay, my next tip is, and again, this is so Capricorn of me, but like save money before you pivot. Like I would never, I mean, obviously you never know what circumstances are going to happen around you, but if I had control over it, I wouldn't want to leave a job until I had something else lined up. Just because I'm just so scared of like not having enough money to like pay rent and like groceries and things like that. Like I'm very much a transition where you've got it lined up. Maybe you take like 2 weeks off for a bit of a break, but that's it. And ideally your annual leave would be paid out and that would be part of that.
Yeah.
But if you're not in a position where you can just easily line up another job like straight afterwards, it's okay to save some money. And even if you're in like a really toxic workplace, in your own mindset, if you're like, I'm just going to stick this out for 3 months and save really hard and then quit, that will give you motivation. It's okay to do that. Even though we've been saying like, don't stay if you're unhappy, like there is always a balance. And if you quit on a whim, I think they call it rage quit. If you rage quit and then you don't have anything lined up and you haven't saved money, that stress could drive you into something that you're just not ready for or is not going to be good for you. So you want to be able to take the time to make the next move that's going to be right for you. So
that's so true.
But set a goal. Don't like indefinitely be like, I'm going to save. Like set a goal, set an end date in your mind, and like it's okay to do that. And I think it will actually help long term.
And I feel like staying to save money, you've already made a decision that you're going to leave. So you wouldn't look at it as a stagnancy. You would look at it as, this is the path. This is my next step.
Yes.
I'm actually taking a step forward by making this decision that now I'm here to save money and get my ducks in a row, as they say. And then you can leave.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking about this the other day because I am a privileged human that can, if the worst happens, which it won't because everything always works out for me, and I don't have a job and I don't have a salary, I can go back to my parents. I can live with my parents.
Yes.
Will my mental health benefit? No.
Yeah.
But I won't be homeless.
Yes.
I won't be unhoused on the street. A lot of people don't have that, even if they're expats or they've moved interstate or they don't have good relationships with their family. That would be so much scarier than what I have to deal with. Like that's horrifying not to have that.
100%.
So I'm very privileged in my willy-nilliness with money in the sense that I
there's a safety net
savings
there. Yeah.
because my parents are there.
There's a safety net.
But yes, doing the thing, making a plan, saving your money and budgeting within a short period of time so that you can go and and it also helps you job hunt in the meantime.
Yeah. You're working towards a goal.
Or like do what we go to our other episode about getting a job and start doing your own like portfolio building or whatever, depending on what you want to do.
100%.
I'm going to go on to my last tip and then you can do yours. Okay. You're allowed to want different things from your peers. I feel like there's a lot of expectation that even like when it comes to promotions, right? You could be in the exact same role as someone and their idea of what their next step is in their promotion is completely different to what yours is. It just depends on the industry that you're in, and that's kind of just how it works in how I feel about the hierarchical business structure. But even if, you find yourself in situations where they're talking about, don't feel like you have to be like, oh my God, I'll do that too because that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Or they're like taking this course or like further study or like learning about something, or you want to learn a skill and they're like, why are you doing that? That has nothing to do with what we're doing. But you're like, maybe I want to pivot into this. For example, me doing like random video, like assisting on video shoots. If, my other admin people would be like, what are you doing? Why?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Don't you want to be a senior admin?
I mean, don't you want to work in IT?
Yeah.
No, but genuinely, I couldn't understand why people wouldn't want to go and do those things.
Yes. But that's because we're content people. inside.
Like in our brain, we're like, this is fascinating. It's like working at a zoo as like a front desk person, but being really into animals, I guess. Is that a weird analogy? Anyway, either way, like, I feel like thankfully I'm the kind of person who does it anyway, even though other people are like, what are you doing? But like, if you're not that kind of person, try to be that person. Like, actually make effort and steps towards the things that you like, the things you enjoy, even if the people around you are questioning it. What is that? There's like a meme. I don't know when this episode's coming out, so it might not be relevant, but hey, so it actually only has to make sense for me.
Yes. And I don't have to explain it to anyone.
Yes.
The buttons?
Yes.
The buttons.
Yes. Think of the buttons and they'll be your guide.
I really want to end the episode on that wisdom note, but I'll give one more tip. Don't underestimate transferable skills because they feel basic or like they don't count. So like communication, organization, emotional intelligence, problem solving, or like always being solution focused. That is so valuable. And I feel like if you're someone where that comes naturally to you, you can very easily forget how valuable it is. And if you're someone where it doesn't come naturally to you, like it's important to learn those skills because sometimes that will get you, you know, a sidestep or a pivot over maybe the skill set for the job that you actually have. They might be looking for someone that has those other more people skills. So don't underestimate those because they are very important. And if you feel like you need help with those, I would say listen to all of the episodes of this podcast and you'll
learn quite a bit. No, but also even when you said that, because I remembered the moment that I realized that writing didn't come naturally for people.
Oh, yeah.
Which I feel like I'm sitting here and being obnoxious, but genuinely when people would like, I'd write something and be like, oh my God, I'm like, why are you gassing me up for this? This is like basic English. What are you talking about?
She's so good at it, guys.
But to me, it's just like a regular, I'm like, a child could have written this in my head.
Nope.
But when you understand, when you learn that, well, I think you should learn that now because you don't need the experience. We experience things to tell you guys these things. That even if you're not using that skill or you're already using that skill in your job, you can use it to build rapport with your coworkers who aren't good at those things. So if someone's bad at writing, you can be like, let me proofread that for you. You know, when you're done, I can help you out with that or blah, blah, blah. And then that way you're helping them, they'll help you. This is the whole, like, everyone should be using the things that they're actually really, really good at to help everyone else on the team complete the goal.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah.
Love that. Okay, well, I think that's all we've got time for today.
Yes, I hope that was helpful.
I hope it was helpful. I think like to sum it up, like if you're feeling like a personal career change or a pivot, do it, but be strategic.
Be smart, and it's okay if you're scared.
Yeah,
because everyone is.
Yeah,
every day.
Every day. Thanks for clocking in.
We'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Office Hours with Sohan and Hameda is a Val Morgan Digital production and part of the BuzzFeed Australia network. Have a question or topic you want us to cover or a workplace dilemma you want us to unpack? Send us a DM on Instagram at officehoursbf or drop us an email on officehours@valmorgan.com.au.
For more, follow us on Instagram and TikTok at officehoursbf. You can follow Sohan on socials at SohanJudge and follow Hameda on socials at It's Hameda.
Our music is by Jasic. Make sure to hit subscribe or follow so you don't miss an episode. And if you like what you hear, please rate us 5 stars and tell your friends to clock in.